YouTube crew, what is going on, and welcome back to another video. Now today we have our second ever community member gameplay review where I'm going to break down gameplay that was submitted by a member of the community. Now I'll get to exactly how you can submit your gameplay in a second, but overall we're going to take a look at things that they do well, areas that they can improve upon, specific mistakes that they make throughout the game, and overall just take a look at some gameplay that probably looks a little bit more similar to yours. Now in order to submit your gameplay, I went ahead and put the instructions down in the comments below. It has an outline of everything that you need to do and what exactly I am looking for, and go ahead and submit it in the Discord. Now, let's get into it. Now, from the title and the thumbnail of this video, you probably already know that this video is about tips for console players. Now, we're going to be breaking down a 13 kill win by a longtime community member, Wolfang, who is on console. Now, when I do these, I like to ask a few questions. First up is taking a look at lifetime KD and last 7 days. So Wolf's lifetime KD is a 0.77. His last 7 days is a 0.87. So we do see some improvement there. Now, in terms of his strengths, he says his strengths are his movement, his game awareness, and making good decisions in bad situations, which is really actually crucial. Next up are his weaknesses. He says his aim needs some fine-tuning, pushing people without good knowledge of where they are, and sometimes not having enough confidence. And then what he would like to improve on is 1v3 and 1v4 situations. Now, as we are starting off this gameplay right here, he's actually going to spend a little bit of time, and his team's going to land pretty much uncontested in a situation where they're able to get loadout. So I do want to talk about tips for my console players that will actually help you get better before we start taking a look at things he does well and things he doesn't do well. First up is going to be your sensitivity. I always suggest that my console players, and I talked about this to Wolf recently, play on a little bit higher sensitivity and a little bit lower ADS multiplier. The reason that I suggest that is because that allows you to play a little bit more snappy. No, it does not fix your FOV problem, but what it does allow you to do is really scan right and left much quicker, which at least helps a little bit. So it doesn't solve the problem, but it at least helps you play a little bit quicker, play a little bit snappier, and at least try to gain a little bit more information, even though you are at that FOV disadvantage. And I'm the first to say that yes, console players are at a disadvantage here because of FOV. So the first thing that I want to talk about is higher sensitivity, lower ADS sensitivity multiplier. What is the number? Ultimately up to you to figure that out, but I would try, something like a 10.7, maybe a 12.6. Those are just hypothetical numbers that they aren't really what they have to be, just giving you some things to try out. Next up, we really want to focus, and he's going to end up dying here just because he ends up running off. It happens. It happens to all of us. That's tough right there. But in terms of tip number 2, we're going to be talking about be careful with close-range fights. Where console players have a significant disadvantage is when you are in a close-range fight. And the reason being is because that is when you are most susceptible to getting your camera broken. You lose sight of the person. You can't track fast enough. So really be careful with your close-range fights and avoid those as much as possible. And when I say close-range fights, I'm talking about within 5 meters, which we will see throughout this gameplay. Within 5 meters. Anything outside of that, you're actually in an okay spot. Now, third tip is going to be information is crucial. Again, going back to your FOV disadvantage. One of the biggest disadvantages of FOV is when you are running around, right? When you don't really have a full field of view to see where everybody is. So to combat that, we really need to hyper-focus on getting information. It's kind of 3 ways we do that. The first is going to be, your audio cues, right? Using audio cues to your advantage and really understanding where people are. I get audio's not great, but we gotta find a way to use that to our advantage still, even if it's just understanding that people are in a building. The second is going to be UAVs. Keeping good cash flow, getting contracts, keeping that money rolling so that we can get UAVs up and really understand where people are. The third is just using your mini-map. Having that awareness of where people are shooting, if they're shooting unsilenced weapons and popping up on the mini-map, whether it is you get a kill and those teammates pop up, we need to be using that information to our advantage to strategically position ourselves, not in those close range situations, right? Not right on top of people, but position ourselves well to challenge people and understand where they are. Right here's a great example of that fight is tougher because he's within 5 meters. If he's further back, he can easily track that person even though they're moving, and ultimately get that kill. But because he's so close, he's got to play a little bit more snappy. So just to kind of review those kind of 3 tips for my console players, the first is going to be try out higher sensitivity, lower ADS multiplier. The second is going to be really be careful about your positioning, specifically putting yourself in close range, too close of range fights, you know, within 5 meters. And the third is really going to be focusing on using information to our advantage to position ourselves well and be strategic about who we challenge. You know, console players, where your advantage is going to be long range. Long range because you're zoomed in a little bit more. And even right there, he's in a good spot to challenge that with his SMG. Now, as I mentioned, this is a 13-kill win right here. As I always talk about, these slow starts, I want to talk about this in particular because this is another little bonus tip here. He's got 2 kills, but he's going to end up with 13. And these kills, what you'll see is they just kind of roll. He's going to get on a little bit of a roll in a little bit later on where he just picks up, you know, kill after kill after kill, and they start to add up. And you realize how easy it is to start to drop 10 to 15 kills. Now, console players, what I really want you to focus on here is centering. I need you to center your crosshairs and really, really, really anticipate. You are going to have to anticipate people where instead of like just turning this corner, he should almost I almost want him to pre-center his crosshairs towards the top. So like he should already be centered towards the top of the stairs here, anticipating somebody. You know, as he turns this corner, instead of looking at the wall, this is a great example right here. Instead of him looking at the wall right here, I want his crosshairs over here. I want his crosshairs aimed towards the left where somebody might be. Same thing here. Instead of aiming at the wall, I want you to aim up here. I want you to aim towards the top of the stairs. This way you are centering your crosshairs and anticipating well. Now right here, he's playing by himself. If you didn't see my video on how to start to split off on your own and stop relying on your teammates, make sure you go check it out. I talk a lot about it, and he's in a situation where he's got his teammates alive, and he's going to go ahead and challenge this. Now, he actually caught the guy on the roof. I think he actually missed him, but he hears them shooting now. He has the audio cue, so he's going to jump up. You got a little bit of a skip in the recording there. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is right here, he gets the kill, and he sees the minimap, right? My first instinct here is to look up. You need to find that guy and see what he's doing because you don't want him to land on you. But he's going to go ahead and keep rotating here, and notice how tough it is right now that he doesn't really have a ton of information. It is a disadvantage for him right now. He's got a little bit of audio, and he uses audio really well this game. And notice that's good centering, right? Like right here, notice how snappy he's playing. That is a good job where he's playing snappy. And let's talk awareness, by the way. These are just the little things. The first time I watched his gameplay, I immediately noticed this. These are the little things that you need to catch on. The shadow, right? That shadow. This guy's jumping. He's right in front of him. Boom. Now watch as he challenges. That's good centering and good pre-firing. It's something that he did really well here. Now he's able to get the thirst. He knows that there's one above, so he's not going to force the thirst. He's going to take his time here. Now he gets the thirst he sees at their top prison. By the way, real quick, if you are looking to get better at Rebirth, my whole goal is to simply help you become a better player. I took my KD from a 0.7 to over 4 KD. So if you are looking to get better, just consider hitting that subscribe button down below so that my content gets pushed to you a little bit more. And I do videos every single day. I live stream on YouTube 4 days a week. So if you want to know when I'm actually posting or going live, make sure you turn on that notification bell as well. Now he's got 4 kills. He's got 8 other teams. Here we talk about information. Look how much easier this is now that he has this information, right? He knows where everybody is. So now he can start to strategically challenge. And this is where I talk about, especially on console, be a little bit more careful of putting yourself in bad situations in buildings where you can get your camera broken. Right here, there's one on his level, and he's going to get his camera broken. He gets his camera broken because he just wasn't aggressive enough with this guy, right? So what ends up happening is this guy has a plate and a half on him already because of the fact that he ends up getting his camera broken. Now, he ends up winning that fight, but when we talk about the trickle-down effect of that, right? So he ends up getting the down. He's just about half health, and then he ends up going down there and dying. So that's where if he's just a little bit more aggressive or pulls back a little bit as opposed to being right on that door and kind of using that UAV to his advantage, he's probably in a better spot. But big gameplay strategy here that I always talk about, he's able to regain in this situation very easily because he has loadout up. If he doesn't have loadout up, this regain is going to be much, much tougher, but he's able to regain pretty easily. And when we talk about regaining, you know, the checklist is very simple. I need loadout, I need plates, I'm going to go challenge. I don't need full ammo, I don't need any of that stuff. I'll figure that out. The checklist is I need loadout guns and I need plates. That's what I need. We're going to go ahead and keep pushing here. He's got one live ping. And like I said, guys, just your reminder, he's going to... Oh, I love that re-challenge, although he ended up not hitting shots there. But he re-challenged that really well. He's going to use his stims to his advantage. Let's talk about this, because this is what I mean by close-range fights. Now, he ends up going down right after this unfortunate situation, but watch how he actually plays this. And these are the little things that you can do to get away from somebody, to open up that FOV a little bit so that you're not right on top of somebody. So he's going to go stim. He sees him, right? Now, instead of just trying to challenge, he's going to go left. Boom. Look, now, right here, now he has more room to track this guy. It's much easier now as opposed to if he was, you know, within 2 meters and trying to snap all over the place and it's tough. Now he's in a much better position to challenge. He gets the down, he gets the thirst. He unfortunately gets shot in the back right there. Although he tried to use the stim to his advantage for the speed boost, he ends up going down. That's okay. He's going to fly back in. That's just a situation where he just took a little bit more damage and he was a little bit lower plate, right? He didn't get that plate that he needed to regain. But again, we're talking about the regain here. He's able to get load out. He's right back in. He's got 5 kills, 6 other team. We're still looking for 8 more kills here. Now he's going to go ahead and challenge this way, see what he can find. That's where, you know, he's able to cover for his teammate, and he's got 2. He's got 1 flying in. He does have 1 ghosted in this building, and he's got 1 over by 10. So he's got to be careful. He's going to go ahead and plate up real quick. He should plate up real quick. There's the plate up.
There was a guy just up here.
Okay, so let's go ahead and keep pushing here. He knows there's 1 above. Uses the stim. He sees 1 below on live ping. He catches this guy right here. And notice right there, that's where the situation's tough when you are right on top of somebody to track this guy. He does a good job. He's able to do it. But even here, like we talk about being in a tough spot. It's even hard to hit upper torso shots. So he's got him there. He's going to un-ADS. But even there, it's hard to then readjust to hit upper torso shots. So he does a good job, but and he's able to get that kill. He's able to make it work. So he's going to keep pushing. He's going to plate up. He catches this guy right here. And this is where he said his aim needs improvement. 100%. He takes a lot of damage there because he missed shots, especially upper torso. But he was in a good range to challenge that guy on console. He just missed some of those shots and missed some of those upper torso shots, which is why he takes so much damage. Ends up being in an okay situation because there's nobody else around. I think we fast forwarded there because there's nobody else around, but that's a situation where if there's another teammate there, if that enemy's teammate is around the corner or something, he ends up going down. Now he's able to get the break here. Boom. He's going to go ahead and challenge outside. And this right here is our ideal range for console players. Look how easy this is in terms of recoil, in terms of tracking. I know he's running away, but I just want to use this as an example of, you know, those are the situations that you want to find yourself in. Those are the positions that you want to put yourself in because those kills become really easy for you on console. It's a good range in terms of tracking. It's a good range in terms of recoil control. It's a good range in terms of not having to risk getting your camera broken. Even if that guy turns and bunny hops 10 feet, he's still able to track that guy. So they're going to go ahead and play positioning here. Like I said, he just picked up a few kills there. He's at 9. He's still going to pick up 4 more. We have 4 other teams still up. Now, let's talk end circle. 2 big questions that we always need to ask ourselves are where is the power position and where is our cover? And he's got both. Look at this. He's able to hit shots there. That's a good range for console players. That is where we talk about console players using...
Hey boys, get behind me.
That's good. That's good shots again. So he's 2 down right there, and that's what we really want to focus on, right? This is good positioning. Yes, Rebirth is very much a close range game, but if we can put ourselves in good. Now, I'm not saying just sit on a building. He's sitting on this building here because he's in good position, right? This is strategic positioning here. But throughout the game, I'm not saying put yourself in positions like that by just camping in a building and waiting for people. But as you are looking around, as you are trying to see what you can find, look at him just absolutely torching people because he's using his FOV to his advantage. Right? It's only a disadvantage in those close range, close quarters fights. He's just absolutely torching people with his Cooper I think it's the Cooper, is it the Cooper Carbine or the STG? It's one of those. But he's doing a lot. He's got 11 kills. He's picking up kills. They're in a good spot. They get circle pull, right? They still have high ground. They still have cover on this team. They're in a really good position. So when we talk about positioning, this is what I want you to focus on. Is specifically playing a little bit more patient in terms of our 1v2 and our 1v3 fights, to be able to get a knock like this, to be able to get a down and a thirst, to then start to go ahead and push in if you need to. Always keeping in mind that we don't want to fight right on top of people. So they're going to go ahead and push. Now, I don't think he definitely should not have given up his high ground here. He should have stayed on top skinny, although were they below? It looks like they were below. So last team here, he's going to go ahead and get the down there. He's back in zone. There we go. And that is a 13 kill. I think it's 13. Yeah, he's going to get his 13th kill right here. So I hope you found today's video helpful. Console players, sensitivity. Be careful of your close range fights and put yourself in good positions. Use information to your advantage. Focus on cash flow. Get UAVs up. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.